I'm Angela Yee, and Jasmine from the Jasmine brand is here.
I'm not just any brand. I'm my own brand. Good morning, Angela.
Talk about it.
It's Tuesday, girl.
I'm not going to lie. I woke up this morning and felt like it was Thursday. I literally was laying in bed like, what day is it? Is it Thursday?
You know
and then
it was Thursday?
Then I was like, oh, no, it's Wednesday. Yes, it's Tuesday.
Okay.
I felt like I did a lot already for some reason.
Yeah. Was yesterday long? Was Monday long for you?
Yes, yesterday was long. We did, 3 interviews? I was thinking about this also this morning. I was like, why am I so tired? Why do I feel like I did a lot? But it is sometimes like, not only is it this show, but there's interviews and other things, responsibilities afterward and meetings. I remember there was one day I had to do 5 interviews in one day. And I was like, please don't ever do that to me again.
Yeah, it can really be exhausting.
Yeah, but then sometimes it's just great things that you're like, man, I can't not do this. Mm-hmm. You know, with that being said, Dwight Howard is going to join us today.
Okay. He's quite a character.
Yes, he is. Dwight Howard. He is, by the way, and he'll talk about it in the interview, launching his own podcast.
Ooh.
So we have some exclusive details on Way Up with Angela Yee that you're not going to hear anywhere else. And did we ask about everything else? I know that's right. Yes. So
I know that's right.
We'll be talking about that. But let's start it off with some positivity today. And let's shine a light on them. 800-292-5150 is the number. If there is anybody who you want to say something positive about, it could be something you saw on the news. It could be a friend of yours, a relative. Y'all like to shine a light on yourselves, too. Call us up, 800-292-5150, and shine a light on them. It's Way Up with Angela Yee.
I'ma shine.
Turn your lights on, y'all.
Turn your lights on.
Spreading love to those who are doing greatness.
Shine a light on them. Shine a light on them.
It's time to shine a light on them.
Yo, it's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee. I don't know what's happening with Jasmine Brand.
I hit my mouth with the headphones and I feel like my lipstick smeared.
I just looked over at her. She was just playing with her face. I'm like, what are you doing? And she's like, I don't know what I'm doing.
I was confused. Okay.
All right. Well, let's shine a light on them. 800-292-5150. And I want to shine a light on this hospital in Brooklyn. This is actually where I was born.
Oh.
Maimonides Hospital.
Maimonides?
Yes, Maimonides. Maimonides Medical Center Summer Research Program. So it's a great program that they're actually advancing medical research, but also promoting diversity and inclusion. So this program, thanks to the generous support of donors and the hospital's esteemed foundation partners, they have 10 students in 2022 that were part of it. And this year, now they have 39 medical students participating across 8 different medical departments. So that's a huge deal.
Yeah. Okay.
We also know who your doctor is does matter a lot.
100%.
You know, so we talk about that all the time. So shout out to Maimonides Hospital, where I was born. I'm going to be doing some things with them too. So I'm excited about that.
Brooklyn?
Yeah.
Okay.
They are in Brooklyn. And they're also doing this thing at the Barclays, which is also in Brooklyn, August 2nd, their Night of Research. That's their event that's going to celebrate each student.
Oh, nice. I love that.
Yay. Maybe I could have been a doctor.
Maybe you could
No,
have.
I just don't like to look at blood.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's see who you guys want to shine a light on. 800-292-5150 is the number for you to shine a light on someone doing something positive. Kashavia, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for asking. How are you guys?
Good. Who do you want to shine a light on?
All right. So I want to shine a light on my nonprofit, the Pseudo House, Something Out of the Ordinary. This is a nonprofit for young ladies ages 11 to 18, where we meet at least 3 times a week. We do after-school tutoring, helping each other with homework. We try to do an outing at least once a week, go skating, ice cream social, bowling, anything to keep us active and kind of build a sisterhood between these young ladies.
Where are you located again?
In Jacksonville, Florida. Duval.
Well, that is amazing. Shout out to you. That's the type of services that we need. I wish I did that growing up.
I know, me too. I feel like I would have been a lot further along.
That's the point. Yeah, we want to prepare them to go off to college, help them build their credit at a young age, things that are really important to becoming a woman, in today's society.
My credit was terrible for so long.
Same.
So, all right. Well, thank you, Kashavia. We appreciate the work that you're doing.
Yes.
Thank you so much, and thank you for the opportunity to speak. Have a good one.
You too. Hey, Ryan, how are you?
Hey,
Who you want to shine a light on?
on my brother Tariq, he just became an accountant.
Oh,
wow.
We might need his services so he could do your taxes and everything.
Hey, question, that girl Jasmine there?
Yep.
Hey.
Well, thank you,
And I
Ryan.
love y'all, man. Y'all keep up the good work, man.
And how can people find your accountant brother?
Oh, see, okay, I'm going to have to call back in tomorrow.
Oh, my gosh.
All right. Well, shout out to him.
Okay.
All right, way up.
He gonna be so mad.
Thank you. You got to teach him some branding, Jasmine Brand.
Way up.
That was Shine a Light on Him. 800-292-5150. If you couldn't get through, you can always leave a message for last word at the end of the show. And when we come back, Offset. He has a new interview that's out. Some people were confused at first until they realized what the reference was. We'll discuss, and we'll also tell you what the promo is for. It's Way Up with Angela Yee. Yee T next.
She about to blow the lid up off this pot. Let's get it. Oh, yeah. Angela's spilling that Yee tea. Come and get the tea.
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee, and my girl Jasmine is here.
I'm not just any brand. I'm my own brand. I'm a rapper, Angela.
Oh, yes, my rapper friend Jasmine Brand is here.
Thank you.
Do people ever get upset about stories you write about them on the Jasmine Brand?
100%.
Okay, just asking.
Okay.
That's why she didn't used to like to give her number out.
Still don't.
All right, now Offset has a new promo out, and he's got Jamie Lee Curtis on here, the actress Jamie Lee Curtis, and they're reenacting James Brown's CNN interview that came out in 1988. And here is what it sounded like, because a lot of people were confused at first if they didn't know the reference, but here's what Offset and Jamie Lee Curtis sounded like together.
Your fans are saying that there's a lot of drama between you and your beautiful wife, Carlee B. Okay. You're not going to answer my question, are you?
There's no problems.
She seems upset, Offset.
I'm out on love.
But you didn't answer really my question, Offset.
Alone from night to night, you find me. Let's talk about some music.
That's a good way to get out of answering questions. Now, just for references, all right, because Offset posted it and said, y'all ready for some new music? Jealousy. I guess that's the name of the song.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I know that's the name of the song.
Yeah.
But anyway, here is the original interview.
How did all of this trouble begin?
Living in America.
Have all the charges been dropped?
Yeah, I'm out on love. Alone from night to night, you find me.
Now, James, this isn't the first time you and your wife have had a problem. Are the two of you going to be able to work this out?
Let's talk about some music.
I wonder, what age you have to be to realize what the reference.
Yeah, because this is from 1988.
This is
on
so
CNN. But
so
you know
funny.
what it is? If you didn't know what it was, it brings it back, because then it makes you go back and watch it, what it is. Like, because people were also like questioning it, and then I saw the people posting it. And so people who got it loved it.
Because I immediately got it, but obviously I was around.
And Cardi B reposted it and said, LMAO, I can't wait.
I'm out on love.
All right, now, The Rock. Dwayne Johnson has donated 7 figures to actors who are on strike. So that's going to help 7,000 to 10,000 of the SAG-AFTRA Foundation members. So that is an amazing thing that he's done. They haven't given out the exact amount of his donation, but according to Variety, Sid Wilson told them that the sum will help that amount of people, 7,000 to 10,000 members, with the union's emergency financial assistance program. We've been telling you guys it's been tough for a lot of these actors and writers just because everybody is not making huge amounts of money. Some people are, working, getting by, and this is just putting even more stress on them.
Right. And people are being transparent about what the kind of money that they're making.
I did see one Nickelodeon actor just talking about not even owning a home and having to pay rent month to month.
It's real.
Yeah, it's real. Just because you see somebody on TV doesn't automatically mean they're rich.
Exactly.
All right, Wiz Khalifa security team managed to thwart a home invasion. Wiz Khalifa posted, and I saw right when he posted this, 3 N-words with Pooh Shiesty mask tried to run in my crib while I was on stage. All right. Wiz Khalifa is on the road. He's touring with Snoop. And so people probably saw he's out of town and they tried to go to his house in LA while he was performing. They tried to get onto the property through a side gate. And, fortunately his security was at the house and they sprung into action, ran out to the gate where they were spotted, and they immediately ran. And so LAPD also responded to the alarm, but the suspects were gone by the time that officers arrived. They did file an attempted burglary report and opened an investigation also.
This is not funny, but describing the masks as poo shiesty.
That's what it is now.
I know. And the thing is, you know exactly what he's talking about when he says that.
All right. So that's unfortunate because this happened to him before, back in 2018. But it also makes you be on guard. So the fact that he has security at his house while he's on the road, and that's an expensive thing that you have to do, but to protect your home, unfortunately,
such a violation.
For him, it's a
too.
necessary expense.
Yeah.
All right. And Quavo was on a yacht in Miami, and there was an alleged robbery on that yacht.
What?
They showed him in zip tie cuffs amidst everything that happened. He wasn't involved in it at all. He just happened to be there. And so what they're calling it is a strong arm robbery, according to the Miami Beach Police Department. There were 2 men on the boat. They started to act in a very aggressive manner toward the captain and crew because they were told their boat rental was ending. They insisted on a refund. They threatened the captain and crew verbally, and the captain later told police one of the men took his wallet and phone and said they would kill him and throw him off the boat.
It's not funny at all.
Yeah, at all. You know, but Quavo was on there, but they said he was not involved, and police did not arrest anybody following the incident because there's 2 different sides to the story, so I guess they're still trying to figure out exactly what went down. And that is your Yeetie. When we come back, we have About Last Night. That's when we discuss things that we did and what happened last night. And I know you were out, Jasmine, so we'll talk about that. And I was also working, of course. It's Way Up with Angela Yee.
So, about last night. Last night. Here's how it went down.
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee, and Jasmine from the Jasmine brand is here.
Yes. I'm not just any brand. I'm my own brand, Angela.
That's right. You a rapper.
I'm a rapper.
And what we want to talk about here is what we did last night. Now, you and I had to separate last night, which is so hard because I know when you're in New York, we're joined at the hip.
We are. Yes, we are Thelma and Louise when I'm in New York with you.
And so you were with one of your other friends, Nina Parker.
One of my other friends, yes. I was with my girlfriend, Nina Parker. She's in town. She has her own collection at Macy's called the Nina Parker Collection.
People love that collection, by the way. I just want to say, I hear so many positive things. When Michelle Buteau was up here, she said that she actually was wearing some of Nina Parker's collection.
I know, and it really made it very real for me when she said that, like, oh, this is Nina Parker. I'm like, oh my gosh, because I've been with Nina since the beginning of this journey of her, working on this line and this collaboration, and it just never really dawned on me until the actress said, oh, I'm wearing Nina Parker. I'm like, oh my gosh.
She has a really real collection in
Yes.
stores that people love and buy. And when Nina was here, I was like, I like your outfit. She's like, oh, it's from my collection.
And she has her name is on the in tags.
That's such a big deal. So shout out to Nina.
Yeah, shout out to. So anyway, she's in town promoting her Nina Parker collection. She's going to be on the Today Show this week, so she's here promoting it. So we went out to dinner. We had drinks. We always try to hook up whenever she's in New York, but we both have crazy schedules, so it was just kind of good catching up with her and gossiping and being messy and
And sometimes it's also just nice, right? Like in the midst of doing work to be able to see friends, but also to see your friends being successful. I think that's such a big deal, and to make sure that we're supportive, because sometimes we're so close to people, we don't even realize what a big deal our friends are.
We don't. And even like you and I will be walking somewhere and somebody else be staring at you. I'm like, who are they looking at? Like, and I'm like, oh, it's Angela.
And people come up to you and be like, I'm not just that brand.
They do. Yeah, they do.
And by the way, she loves it. So if you run into Jasmine Brand anywhere, just walk up to her and say, I'm not just a brand, I'm my own brand.
Yeah, love it. So what did you do last night?
So yesterday, lip service. And by the way, that episode is going to be out today. So you guys are going to love that. We had Roy Woods on. He's an OVO artist from Toronto. And we also have Mahalia on. She's from the UK. She's on Atlantic Records.
She's a singer?
She's an amazing singer.
Okay.
She was discovered by Ed Sheeran when she was 13.
With a name like Mahalia.
You gotta be.
You gotta have vocals, yeah.
But yeah, so you guys will really enjoy that. But then after that, Jasmine and I reconnected.
Of course, because like we always do.
And we were catching up on Real Housewives of Atlanta, the latest episode.
Right.
And one thing that was on there that really struck a chord with me, we were watching Sanya and her sister. And they've been bumping heads because she actually had her, I think her brother-in-law used to work for her too.
And so her whole family worked for her.
Her whole family works for her. And they're always at the house. And do they live there? They live there, right?
Yeah, when she moved to Atlanta, the plan was to stay with her for a year or two.
Yeah.
Because they all, when she was a track star, when she was an athlete, they worked together. So that's the kind of environment that they're used to, the dynamic.
Right. And so she was getting ready for her fundraiser that she's doing for moms. And she did not give her sister a heads up on what time she needed her to come and do her hair. So her sister had to come, wasn't ready, wasn't prepared herself. Couldn't even get dressed for the event. And also has 2 kids that she has to find.
She has her own family.
Yeah, she has her whole own thing going on. So it was just, you could tell there was tension between the 2 of them because, you know, don't act like just because I'm your sister, I'm going to be on beck and call for everything that you need. I need a schedule too. And I was thinking about working with family because she, again, has family that works with her. Like her whole family. While you might feel like I trust them more than anyone, it also is like, can ruin a relationship.
Yeah, it kind of blurs the line. Like, are you my sister right now, or are you my stylist or my sister? Like, and then when do you turn it off?
Because a long time ago, I had done some things with my brother. I love my brother, and I realized we can't work together because I don't. And we can do things together. That's fine, but it's hard because, you know, you want to be like, yo, it feels like sometimes you go in on them more too because you're related to them.
You're harder. You have more of an expectation.
Yes.
And also you can kind of talk more crazier to them.
Yes. And then you got to see each other at holidays and realize you just talk crazy.
And then your parents know what's going on. They're like, uh-oh.
But we want to see what you guys think as far as working with family, right? Are you for it? Are you against it? What has your experience been if you've ever had a family member or even a spouse who you had to work with, and would you recommend it? 1-800-292-5150 is a number. Call us up right now. Let us know what you think about that. Working with family, yes or no? 1-800-292-5150 is Way Up with Angela Yee.
Yeah, she back at it. Bring in the Mac. Way Up with Angela Yee is on.
Yes, it's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee, and Jasmine from the Jasmine brand is here.
Yes, any brand. I'm my own brand.
And we were talking about Real Housewives of Atlanta, Sanya and her sister. Her sister does her hair and basically does a lot of stuff for her. And so
felt like it was like her day-to-day person at one point.
And she does hire a lot of her family. She has her sister, her mom, her parents living in the house. And so one thing that was an issue on the latest episode on Sunday was that she did not give her sister a heads up that she needed to get her hair done, didn't let her know what time that needed to be done. Her sister didn't even have an opportunity to get ready for Sanya's event. And we were talking about working with family. Because, you know, her sister also has a family, kids of her own that she has to plan for. She might have wanted to get dressed, look nice, make sure we give each other time. You can't just say, come do my hair. Oh, I forgot to tell you.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
Yes. And so, have you ever worked with family?
Not directly. I worked with my brother a little bit when I first started the site. Like, he helped me on a few things. My dad has his own business. I did a little, help working with him. How was it? My dad is very intense, so it was kind of like, okay,
never again.
Yeah, it's something I could do every now and again and help, and I feel like that with family. But my business partner, he and I were in a relationship before, and we have a child together too, but we have a business together, and so I feel like, that was a little challenging. So I understand people not wanting to
mix those two.
It could be tricky. What about you?
And especially because you're not in a relationship anymore, but you still have business together.
Yeah.
I did work and do some things with my brother a long, long time ago. And I just remember being really frustrated because I'm very on it, and he had other things going on, so it's more like he was helping me. But then I also wanted to be treated like you treat your clients. You know?
Yeah.
But let's see what you guys think about it. 800-292-5150. Jasmine, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
We have another Jasmine here too,
You're an amazing person, Jasmine.
Trust me. I know. She's perfect. We're perfect.
Yes, that's right.
All right. So I'm asking now, working with family, have you ever done it? How did it go?
I currently do it. I work with my mom. She's been an amazing hairstylist for over 40 years and has owned her own salon, and her fifth salon. I actually quit my 9-to-5, my corporate job, to work with her 5 years ago. It's been a wild ride. It's been crazy. We've had a lot of, I wouldn't call them arguments out of respect for her, but we've had some ups and downs, and we've had to adjust our boundaries with each other. We've had to adjust our relationship as mother and daughter, and working together in a salon. I actually rent a chair from her, so I had to form more of a business relationship, pushing with my mom that, hey, no, I want to pay booth rent, I want to buy my products, I want you to treat me like I work here, not just your daughter. And that really helped. I feel like a lot of people want to just treat their family members like family, but you have to understand that a business is a business. And if you want to be successful and you want to be productive, then you have to draw that line. And understand that all's fair in love and war.
Did y'all ever go through a period of time where you weren't even speaking? Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like that
She said it was
happened.
been a wild ride.
Yeah, she works in the station across from me, so we never show it in the salon, but there have been moments where, we've had our disagreements, even on a personal level, you
Right.
know? As mother and daughter outside of the salon, we've had our own differences.
But at
one
least
thing
y'all
we
figured
always
it
say-
out. And that's important, Jasmine. You guys figured out how to navigate that and still, and it's a process because I don't think it's ever going to go smooth from the beginning.
Mhm. Yeah, because my mom is, 61 and I'm 29.
Okay.
So our demographic is different. How we work is different. How I want to dress versus how she wants me to dress. Yeah, like how the hours I want to work and how much I want to put in versus what she feels I should put in to my own business. She had to understand that I'm not you, and I'm going to work and provide my business the way I want to. But shout out to her because she really put me on and she put money behind me so I could start my own business and be self-sufficient. It's been 5 years and my mom bet on me, and I'm so grateful for that because I don't know if I could have survived corporate America any longer.
All right. Well, thank you, Jasmine, for sharing with that. That's amazing.
Yep.
Thank you so much, and I love the show. And I was just like, oh my God, I'm in the car. I literally just left my mom's house. And I was like,
Tell her we said hi.
She's blowing up my phone right now.
Who's a better stylist? Who's a better stylist, you or your mom?
I'm gonna give it to her.
I'm playing.
She's such a good daughter.
She's a master stylist. She's #1 in the world with JCPenney. She is an amazing stylist. She is why I love and appreciate hair.
Okay.
So give my mommy all her flowers. Her name is Rhonda Leggins. Hairdresser Orlando. Go on ahead and check my good sis out. She's wonderful.
We love Orlando too.
Yes,
okay.
we do. Okay.
Yes.
Have a good day.
Bye, Jasmine.
You too. Bye.
Hey, Amy, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm here with Jasmine, and we're talking about working with family. Now, what is your experience?
It sucks. I work with them right now. we have a small business in Wyandotte, and we make meat, and it sucks. We scream at each other.
Ooh. How was it before you guys started working together? You guys were good?
Yeah, without working, we're fine. We love each other, but working together is hell.
Okay. What are you going to do about
I'll be
it?
texting my dad. We can't do nothing. My dad's like, just deal with it.
This feels like it could be a show. But
It definitely could be a reality show. It sounds like.
Because how you don't want to you don't want to go to work and be stressed out and yelling at each other.
Right, and some days we're all good, but when my mom has an attitude, I get an attitude back.
It's contagious.
Especially with being your mom, you're comfortable. You can have that attitude.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing with us.
And good luck.
I feel your
Thank
pain.
you.
I feel your pain. I couldn't do it.
Me neither.
Rah-rah.
Hey, how you doing, Angela?
What's good, rah-rah?
Hey, Rah.
How you doing, man? I'm glad y'all accepted my call, man.
So, listen, do you work with family?
Did not. I work with my wife.
Okay.
And I think it is a big no.
I thought you were going to say I love
when I worked with my wife, when I didn't work with her, I couldn't wait to see her. You know, I would call in the email, like, when I pick it off, hey, what we going to eat, what we going to watch, you know, what we doing when I get off, I almost miss her. When you work together, it puts a big strain on the relationship. She just got on my nerves.
Oh, okay.
I can see that.
What do you? So you guys work together now?
No. We learned the hard way that we need to have at least 8 hours apart to get along.
Well, that's fair.
Yeah,
and miss each
Yeah.
other.
Yeah.
You know, there's nothing like being like, I can't wait to see my man.
Right. So that just what worked for me. I mean, maybe not everybody else, but that's what worked for us.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Rah-rah.
Thank you. Way up, Angela.
All right. Well, that was us just talking about whether or not you could work with family. That came from Real Housewives of Atlanta with Sanya and her sister, who also does her hair. And it looks pretty
challenge.
tense.
Yes.
Yeah, very challenging. When we come back, we have your Yeetie. And let's talk about Bronny James. Breaking news. It looks like he suffered from cardiac arrest. We'll tell you the details that we do have so far. It's Way Up with Angela Yee.
They say it's truth in the rumors.
From industry shade to all the gossip,
Talk to me.
Angela's spilling that Yee tea.
Yo, it's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee, and Jasmine from the Jasmine brand is here.
Yes. Any brand. I'm my own brand. It's Tuesday, Angela.
Thank you. Wait, did I say it was a different day?
No, I just want to
make sure I know that.
Yeah, I
Okay.
want to affirm. You thought it was Thursday, so go ahead.
When I woke up, I did feel like it was Thursday. Now, LeBron's son, Bronny, was rushed to the hospital. He suffered cardiac arrest during a basketball workout.
Wow.
According to TMZ Sports. Now, a family spokesperson said yesterday while practicing, Bronny James suffered a cardiac arrest. Medical staff was able to treat Bronny and take him to the hospital. He's now in stable condition and no longer in ICU. So they're asking for respect and privacy. And they said LeBron and Savannah wish to publicly send their deepest thanks and appreciation to the USC medical and athletic staff for their incredible work and dedication to the safety of their athletes.
Okay. And he's only 18.
Yes.
All right.
So
That's scary.
Well, thank goodness he's okay, though.
Yeah.
But it was very serious when it happened.
And thank goodness people were around when it happened, right?
Yes. Yeah. All right. Now, Jaylen Brown from the Boston Celtics, he has agreed to sign the biggest deal in NBA history, $304 million Supermax contract extension, 5 years.
Wow.
Goodness gracious.
300 million?
Yes.
For 5 years?
304 million.
Excuse me.
Yeah, don't forget the 4. That 4 million still matters, okay? I know.
Yes,
300,
it does.
304, what's the difference? All right, so congratulations to him, though. He's a mentor for a lot of kids, too, and does a lot of philanthropy, and he's also vice president of the National Basketball Players Association.
Oh, okay.
So,
all right.
Why you look like that? What?
I didn't know that. And he's cute, too.
Yeah, okay. I told you 304 million. All right.
The extra 4 million made him even more cuter.
Even more cuter. All right. Adidas is selling Yeezy shoes for $565 million after cutting ties with Kanye.
Okay.
So that is the Yeezy inventory that piled up in the warehouse, and they said those online orders totaled $565 million. They put up their first batch of Yeezys for sale last month. They sold 4 million sneakers within 48 hours. All right, so that's good because that means they're not going to have to take too big of a loss like we thought they were going to have to do.
Yeah.
What an unheard of situation, by the way.
I know. This is like a first, I feel like. Do you have any Yeezys?
I have one pair.
You have one pair?
One pair. Thank you, Natina.
Okay.
I was gifted.
All right.
One pair.
Shout out to Natina.
They're comfortable. All right. Now, Nene Leakes recently was on with Carlos King on his podcast, Reality with the King.
Right.
And that episode is out today. And she was talking about her son, Bryson Bryant, and his recent arrest and his addiction. He was arrested for felony drug possession. And here's what she said.
My hands are tied. You know, he is 31 years old. He's an adult. He has a wife. It's not much that I can do. You know, I've spent so much money on trying to get Bryson, you know, where he needs to be. But until Bryson is ready to make a change, it's nothing I can do. As a mother, I would never wash my hands of my child, right? But I'm kind of numb to it because it's been happening for so many years.
Oh, that's a terrible feeling.
Yeah, and you're helpless because they gotta want to change, and it's an addiction. I feel like all of us know someone or have someone in our family, have a friend of a friend that battles addiction. It's a serious thing.
Son, that's what makes it even crazy. And it's like, what can I do? Because you also can't just ignore it. But when you've tried and tried and tried everything, and it's just not working.
Yeah.
And he's a grown man, and he's got his own family and things going on, and he's just. At a certain point, you want to be like, I can't enable this.
Right.
At the same time.
And like she said, she's tried to help him, but.
All right. Well, that is your Yeetie. And when we come back, we have Under the Radar. These are the stories that are not necessarily in the headlines, although I feel like today they might have to be.
Okay.
All right. Because,
what?
Yeah. I mean, I don't see how we avoid talking about certain things and certain things that just came out. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
gotcha.
You know, even though it's usually under the radar, this I feel like has been something that we can't avoid.
Okay.
And got to talk about. All right. Under the Radar next is Way Up with Angela Yee.
The news, I got news. This in the news that relates to you. These stories are flying under the radar.
Yes, it's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee, and Jasmine from the Jasmine brand is here.
Okay.
Okay.
I was just thinking about the story you're about to talk about.
Which one?
Well, I'll have to let you talk about it.
All right, well, let's start off with Carlee Russell, and we're going to talk a lot more in detail about this later.
Okay.
But I did want to give you guys the statement from her ex-boyfriend, who apparently she was trying to, according to people, they believe she was trying to get his attention.
Oh.
with this whole situation where she disappeared. It turns out the whole thing was a hoax, and we'll play all of that for you later.
Okay.
But her ex-boyfriend, Tamar Simmons, posted, Carlee's actions created hurt, confusion, and dishonesty. I was made aware of the false narrative after coming to the defense of my ex, Carlee Russell. Myself and my family's nature was to react in love and genuine concern. We are disgusted from the outcome of this entire situation. I strongly feel exactly like you all. Blindsided with Carlee's actions. There is still an ongoing investigation, but with all of the recent information and her confession, now we gain closure with this situation. Thank you to all my family, friends, and the nation for support through this.
He's cute.
You keep calling everybody cute today.
He is cute.
People were all in his DMs too.
Look, he's cute. When I first saw him, I was like, oh, she got an attractive boyfriend. Has nothing to do with the story, but I get sidetracked sometimes.
I see.
The word disgust is strong too, FYI.
He's disgusted.
Yeah.
Because think about it. When it first happened, he was,
begging and pleading for people to help him.
And then when she came home, he was so relieved.
Yeah. And you can't stay with somebody after that, at least publicly. It's so embarrassing.
He probably thinks to himself, nah, there's a reason why we broke up.
Yeah.
Well, you have to think that. All right. Now, in other under the radar stories, U.S. citizens will need to pay for a visa in order to travel to Europe, and that is starting next year. So you have to get pre-approval via the European Travel Information and Authorization System. And then before securing tickets, lodging, or a reservation, you have to also submit an application that costs about $8. Then you have to provide travel documentation like your passport and personal information, education level, current occupation, anticipated trip details, and any criminal convictions.
Listen, it feels like they want to make it harder for U.S. citizens to get over there.
They don't want us there.
That's what it sounds like.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah. They promised to respond within 4 days, but that could be extended to 14 to 30 days depending on the circumstance.
Because right now you just need a passport, right?
Right.
Yeah.
You just go.
That's what we've been doing.
We can be like, let's go today.
And we can go, but not now.
Once that is authorized, though, it's valid for up to 3 years or until your passport expires.
Okay. So if you get a visa, it lasts for 3 years.
Yes.
Okay.
Or until your passport expires.
You don't have to keep doing this every time you want to go there.
Right.
Okay.
I haven't been to Europe in forever.
Yeah. I went a few years ago.
Since I was, well, this, if you want to go again, you know what to do.
I better hurry up, though, because all them steps, they're like a lot of work.
All right, and now this is a really sad story. Tafari Campbell, he was the Obama family's personal chef. He was found dead on Martha's Vineyard over the weekend. And this is just really, really sad. I guess he was paddleboarding and he was found unconscious in 8 feet of water.
Oh, my gosh.
And that was near the banks of the Obama's estate. On Monday morning, they found him.
That's so heartbreaking.
And so his wife actually has said she will be forever changed by this tragic loss. She said, my heart is broken. My life and our family's life is forever changed. And she said, please pray for me and our families as I deal with the loss of my husband.
Oh, my gosh. And they got children. That's a lot.
She said, no words can express what I'm feeling. #heartbroken.
Oh, my goodness. That's so sad. What happened?
Well, he was paddleboarding, and I guess the current pulled him under. And, I saw some people like, oh, we need to look more into this. But I've actually been paddleboarding before, and now it just made me feel like I extra need to be more on point because I don't know how to swim.
Yeah, when you say on point, learn how to swim.
Yeah,
right,
for myself.
Yeah, it's like a life skill we all need to.
And I keep on putting it off every year. I'm like, next year during the pandemic, I was like, oh, it's the pandemic, I learn how to swim.
Yes.
But it's not like I have easy access to a pool.
Yeah, but you can get access, Angela.
And shout out to Chelsea Pierce. They really want me to come there and take swimming lessons. And
I'm going to go with you.
I was there over the weekend and they were like, yeah, when are you available today? I was like, not today. All right, well, that is your Under the Radar. And now we do have the Way Up Mix coming at the top of the hour. Plus, Dwight Howard is going to be joining us today.
Okay.
And I know he has a lot of things to discuss. Mainly, he has a podcast that he's launching, and we're going to get some of the exclusive details about that. Mm-hmm. But he's definitely an open book, and we can ask him about anything.
Ooh.
And he's been in the news and on the blogs, and we'll discuss that as well. It's Way Up with Angela Yee.
Back at it. You vibing Way Up with Angela Yee.
Yes, it's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee, and Jasmine Brand is here.
Yes, I'm here, Angela.
Yes, indeed. Mm-hmm. We're eating pizza.
We are. It's lunchtime, right?
Trying to get it all. Yeah. Listen, We got to discuss this whole Carlee Russell disappearance. Apparently, the whole thing was a hoax. There were a lot of people questioning this story
from the beginning, right?
As things were unraveling. But she's from Alabama. She had reportedly gone missing, but it turns out she was never missing. Now, Hoover Police Department Chief Nicholas Durzis told reporters at a news conference on Monday that there was no kidnapping. He read a statement that was provided by Carlee Russell's attorney, Emery Anthony, and here's what that statement said.
There was no kidnapping. My client did not see a baby on the side of the road. My client did not leave the Hoover area when she was identified as a missing person. My client did not have any help in this incident, but this was a single act done by herself. My client apologizes for her actions to this community, as to her friends and family. We ask for your prayers for Carlee as she addresses her issues and attempts to move forward, understanding that she made a mistake in this matter. Carlee, again, asks for your forgiveness and prayers.
Now, originally, Carlee Russell told police she was taken by a male and a female when she stopped to check on a toddler that she saw on the highway. She said when she got out of her vehicle to check on the child, a man came out of the trees and mumbled that he was checking on the baby. She said the man then picked her up and she screamed. And then when asked if investigators saw a man abduct her in the surveillance video of the interstate, that's when the police department chief said they did not see any such thing. You know, they also had released the 911 call that Carlee Russell made. And when asked about whether the DA's office is looking to charge her, they're trying to figure out what to do now. There's 3 misdemeanors that they could charge her with, 1 to 3 misdemeanors, rendering a false alarm, false reporting to a law enforcement authority, and falsely reporting an incident. And all 3 are Class A misdemeanors. They carry up to a year in jail each.
Okay. I wonder, how does she think of this? Like, out of all the things to...
She Googled Taken.
Yeah, I have seen Taken. I don't know. It's just really creative in what she, you know...
What, faking a kidnapping?
Yeah.
Now, the real concern they're saying is she may have in this case is the amount of restitution that she could be taxed with in the event that she's convicted. There would be a lot of man hours that were in this case, a lot of overtime that these detectives and patrol officers could be taxed to her if she is convicted as part of the restitution.
Okay. What was her alleged motivation to do this? I
don't know that we know this yet.
Because I know there's speculation.
There's just speculation. Yeah. She has not said why
she did this. Okay.
She did such a thing, but, you know, yeah. I mean, this is a very interesting story. I wonder if, I'm sure people are all trying to get an interview with her now, too.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You know, so.
Maybe she'll sit down with Oprah.
You think? Who would you like to see her sit down with?
Carisha, please.
Carisha.
I would like to see her with Oprah.
Carisha, please would not be a bad one.
It wouldn't be. Yeah, it would be funny.
What do you think about her going to jail? Would you?
No, I'm not into going to jail for nonviolent offenses. I feel like there can be some other kind of punishment. I'm not into.
Definitely financial restitution.
Yeah, but if she ain't got it, what happens? Like, once you do, like, your paycheck goes automatically to this. Is that because, you know, how's she gonna pay that?
Yeah, I'm sure that if you don't make the payments, that they probably take it out of, you know, of your check.
Yep.
All right. Well, they garnish your wages. That's what I couldn't think of the word. All right. Well, that is just an update on what's going on with Carlee Russell. And when we come back, we have another update. And Dwight Howard is going to be joining us today. Okay. He's been all on the blogs lately. He also has a podcast that he's doing. You know, he's got a lot going on, and he's a very interesting person to talk to. So we're going to get into it with him. It's Way Up with Angela Yee. Dwight Howard is coming up.
Yeah, she back at it. Bring in the Mac. Way Up with Angela Yee is on.
Yes, it's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee. And Jasmine from the Jasmine brand is here.
I'm not just any brand. I'm my own brand. Angela, there's no one that laughs harder at their own jokes than you.
Thank you. They're funny. I mean, look, things happen.
You are funny, Angela. But you have a hearty laugh after your own. And then you sometimes you'll clap your hands laughing at your own joke. You slap your knee.
I enjoy myself. Okay. I enjoy myself. Okay. A shout out to Dan. He is a fanning out because Dwight Howard is here. And listen, by the way, Dwight Howard honestly needs to get all the praise that he deserves for his NBA career.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, I know a lot of times that he feels slighted, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
But one thing he did say before this interview even started, he let us know, I don't want to talk about basketball all the time.
Yeah.
I'm tired of it. I know more things than just basketball. I feel like, too, athletes sometimes get into that where they do interviews and people only want to ask about that.
Sports.
And there's so many other things that go on in their lives and things that they're passionate about and want to talk about. And I know right now he has a lot that he wants to address, from dealing with backlash online because of his disciplining his son and coaching him. And people had a lot to say about that. So we're going to ask him about that. Also, there were some rumors and some alleged charges against him.
Alleged lawsuit.
Yeah, allegedly. So he's going to address all of those things. And then he has some positive things happening. And of course, we want to focus on that with his podcast that he hasn't talked about anywhere else. Also, investments, good and bad. And we're going to discuss that because you guys are going to enjoy this interview so much. We really did enjoy talking to Dwight Howard. And should we get into it?
He has some strong opinions.
And
Child
again,
support.
on our YouTube, it's Way Up with Yee. So if you ever want to see full interviews, we have all of our full interviews on Way Up with Yee. So let's get into it. When we come back, Dwight Howard is going to be here on Way Up. And I mean Way Up because we had to look way up in the sky to even see his face. Way Up with Angela Yee, Dwight Howard next.
Yeah, she back at it. Bring in the Mac. Way Up with Angela Yee is on.
Right now, we are talking to Dwight Howard.
I love talking about, so many different topics. I think a lot of people, when they meet me, they want to talk about basketball and what happens with sports. And that's one topic that I really just hate talking about. I done talked about it. I done lived it. I done did everything with basketball. So it's like it's much more to me and in life than basketball.
Yeah. I saw a lot of people commenting about parenting, right? And I know that's one thing that you definitely can discuss. They felt like you were being too hard on your kids, like having them work out in the gym. And it's interesting because you'll hear that conversation about like Michael Jackson and Joe Jackson. You'll hear that about, say, Serena Williams and Venus Williams. But then you see the superstars that they became,
but it's only when it's fathers.
Right, because Tina Knowles ain't getting bashed for
we don't really, I feel like we don't really see the moms pushing their kids. I'm sure they do, but we don't see it.
Look what happened. Look what you just said. The fathers are the male is pushing them too hard. In every case that you just mentioned, the Serena, Michael, their father had a vision for his kids. Nobody else. So for me, I'm like, listen, I know what it takes to get to the top. I've been to the top of the mountain. So why wouldn't I give my kids the game from a young age? Who else supposed to teach their kids to be great?
No, we saw Steph Curry's documentary, and his dad had him out there practicing his shot for, and that's why Steph Curry is
the greatest shooter ever.
Yeah. But they also asked him, is this really what you want to do? His mom said, and if that's what you really want to do, because I think there's a lot of things as a kid that I didn't want to do. And I also regret the fact that my parents didn't push me harder on certain things too. Do
you wish your parents pushed you harder, or you had just enough?
I pushed myself.
Okay.
I was one of those kids that I told my dad at 10 I was going to the NBA and I was going to be the first pick in the draft. So I wrote down my goals. I put them on top of my bed, and every day I looked at it. So I was a little bit different.
Right.
In
Especially
the
as a
mindset.
10-year-old.
At 10, I was thinking about going to the NBA. From then at 10, when I told my dad that every step that I wanted to take was basically ordered. So it was a plan. So it's the same thing with my kids. I see who my son is going to be in the future.
Okay.
So why would I allow him to quit or say he can't when he's only 9? How a man do one thing is how we do all things.
Right.
So if he quits now, he'll quit later. And the thing I'm teaching them, all my kids, is the world don't care about you. So you have to learn all this stuff at a young age.
Okay.
And you have to be mentally and physically strong. And I'm going to be here to love you in the whole process.
I'm Angela Yee, and the Jasmine brand is here. We're talking to Dwight Howard. For you as a dad, we've seen a lot of things on social media and stories, and you have some children's mothers that people will see commenting on things. How does that make you feel if they're like, well, he's only a part-time dad or he's not doing what he's supposed to do?
It's just an opinion. I don't too much divulge and go back and forth with accusations or anything that I may see off the internet, even if it's something that my child's mom has said, when we see stuff on the internet, even I see it. I get a little hurt that my son would see the stuff that's going to be on the internet.
Right.
But again, anything negative would never come out of my mouth. about any of my kids' moms. No matter how I feel, I will keep that off the air because I don't think that's something that nobody should know. And that's my burden to deal with because at the end of the day, I chose these women to have kids with. So I can't be mad at nobody but myself for that. When I see it, I just keep going. I know I'm not a one-a-day dad or whatever you want to call it, or internet dad. My kids love me. We spend every day that we can together. And what a lot of people may not understand is that when you have a job like the NBA, you're gone most of the time.
Right.
And so also, this is for, those people out there looking to have children. You got to watch who you have kids with, and you got to really study them first. And know that, hey, you can't just be looking for a come up or trying to be with the finest girl, because that could get you in a lot of trouble.
So let's talk about, you went to Taiwan and played ball there. What's the difference between women in Taiwan and in the United States?
Culturally, the women from Taiwan are raised a lot different than the women here. The one thing I noticed over there is they are willing to do what is needed for you. Cook, clean, whatever that stuff is, no complaints. And sometimes, as a male, dealing with so much stress, you might not want to talk to someone. You might not want to have to deal with all the extra stuff, but just having someone that is there for you, who can just do for you, make sure all your stuff straightened out so you can just lay your head. I feel like being over there and witnessing that, not saying that women over here don't do that. I just feel like, it's a little difference, but I don't want to.
Is that what works? Is that what works for you? Is that what kind of woman are you attracted to?
My style has changed over the years with understanding. When I was super young, I wanted the finest, all that stuff, but at the end of the day, it just cost me. But I'm more so interested in who you are as a person, your intellect, what kind of value you could bring to me in my life, especially at this point, outside of sex.
Right.
So it takes time to get to that stage, because you come in at 18, you get everything.
That's tough.
Yeah.
And then you also don't know if people really want to be with you. Yeah. And that's a really hard thing. Yeah. It's not easy to find somebody after you've already achieved the success and made the hundreds of millions of dollars that you made, that you could feel like
she got your back. Yeah. That is hard. But again, I think it's easy to shut down and say, you know what, I can't trust nobody and I can't do this and do that because I've had so many bad experiences. But then that would be bad to the next person that I would date.
What about NDAs? Do people have to sign an NDA? Because the truth is, being who you are, you do have to be cautious about.
That's true. I don't be wanting to do that because I feel like as soon as you start doing that with the person that you're trying to have a relationship with, then it kind of already puts a stain on it, because it's like, why are you having me sign this? You don't want to trust me. You don't want to give me an opportunity. Then you got to go through that whole process. You don't trust me. What did I do? I'm not like everybody else.
Well, then you should have no problem signing this NDA.
Exactly.
And that's what happens.
I like that NDA thing.
Yeah, I think if you do it from the very beginning, before we even get to that point, because I don't know,
The NDA is not something that you would have somebody in your personal space sign. There's another piece of paper that you would have, and it's called a dossier. So that would be for more so private, intimate settings. NDAs is kind of like business and stuff like that.
Right. Okay. Because people are releasing all kind of voicemails and, conversations. I've been seeing this happen way too much lately and putting it out there.
I feel like those people who want to try to expose or hurt somebody else, really what they're doing is exposing their character.
Right now we are talking to Dwight Howard, but of course we have a whole lot more with him when we come back. It's Way Up with Angela Yee.
Now I'm back at it. You vibing Way Up with Angela Yee.
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee, and Jasmine from the Jasmine brand is here. We're talking to Dwight Howard. Most recently, we saw the posts and the blogs, right? And a couple of years ago, there's a guy who claims that, you hit him up in the DMs, and now there's a lawsuit. And I believe it's from 2021, if I'm not mistaken, right? And so how did you react to something like that?
I didn't react. I've never in my life assaulted or hurt anyone. I'm not even that type of person. When I see allegations and accusations online about whatever people have said I've done, I don't pay attention to them.
Are you ever hurt when you see things, or you always like it doesn't bother you?
It doesn't hurt, but it just makes me feel for my children. My son don't need to see that.
How do you protect your children from?
You can't protect them from that. What you have to do is have conversations with them and see what's going on, because I know that at the schools that they go to, the stuff that they have on their phones, they have access to all this stuff.
That's the other kids too.
Yeah, you can't just, it's not like I can't stop them from doing this stuff, but what I can do is let them know and let them be aware that all these things are around them, and some of this stuff is to desensitize you and to get you from not being locked in and focused. It's tough because they have friends, they have social media, they
and
have
the parents,
phones,
their friends' parents probably like, oh, you go to school with
with this
Dwight
person.
Howard.
So I hate that my son has to deal with, a lot of his information being put out there at such a young age.
How do you work on co-parenting?
Man, it's been tough because of the child support laws and how that stuff has came about. It's really made it tough to be co-parents. And that's something that I've struggled with. And I think a lot of fathers who have to deal with the child support and having to get lawyers and go back and forth, I think a lot of that stuff really affects the relationships between the mothers. And that's the one thing that I wish just kind of changed, because I feel like it's all a plan to mess up the families. I personally feel like it shouldn't be child support, because child support is enabling, and sometimes it is not for the child.
Well, everybody's experience is different, because I also know dads who don't pay any money. So it's a case-by-case scenario.
In Taiwan, they don't have child support. Why should it be you have to pay when both parents have had the child? Why should it just be the father or the person who has the most income pay for everything? It should be, if it's both parents, it's co-parenting, right?
Yeah, it's supposed to be support.
Yeah.
So in other words,
it hasn't been support.
Right. And I think sometimes the father doesn't even pay enough. Like in some cases, child support. Some cases child support is $35 a month. Like
or like $100 a month.
Or if he's getting paid off the books.
Both parties should go and get a job.
I agree with that, but I do think that if the mom has a child the majority of the time, and that's like housing, food, clothes, schooling, sometimes you might need to have to get a nanny.
Get a job.
And if a woman has a job, she's paying for somebody to take care of her kid while she's at work. But all of those things do cost money, right?
Correct.
And so I do believe both parties participate in that. But I think it's a case-by-case scenario, because there's definitely some dads that are like, I'm not letting them know how much I make. I'm getting paid off the books.
Moms who do the same thing.
Yeah.
It can go both ways. So what I'm saying is they need to redo the whole thing, because anytime somebody who has money gets involved with somebody who might not have the same amount of money, the person who doesn't have the same amount of money, they reap all the benefits.
But the average person doesn't have a child with
that's
a famous person, a rich person.
Okay, so how many entertainers, how many celebrities, and how many basketball players have to go through this? They pay crazy buku amounts of child support.
Right. Yeah. See, that's not the thing. That's not our world. Like, we have friends that have regular.
But what do y'all do?
It's just hard because
y'all make posts and y'all comment, and then it's about the father didn't do this or the father. But the father is the one. So you want the father to go out, make all the money.
No.
And then you want then you want the father to be present. And you want the father to go do all the things that the mother is doing. It got to be something. The energy, it got to be balanced. So if we're not in a relationship, you can't say, he ain't been with his kid in 2 weeks. Okay, so what if I had to go out the country for 2 weeks? This happens to pilots. This not just basketball players and entertainers. It's pilots, it's doctors. These people spend a lot of time at their jobs.
Yeah.
So is it fair to say?
I agree, but I do think it's the case, because I also know women who sacrifice their careers, right, because they have to stay home with their kids. So they're not able to be like, oh, I'm going to go away for 2 weeks to work because I have to be home, to take care.
That goes back to what you got to choose the person that you have your child with, correct? And you can't just try to do it because you looking for a come up. And I'm not saying that's my situation. I don't want nobody to take it that way.
You're just saying in general.
But in general, a lot of times when women see somebody who has money and they try to get with them, they're looking for a way to do what?
And a lot of times guys also aren't making the smartest decisions. It's if you see a woman and you're not doing what you need to do, you're not protecting yourself.
So that means
it's a two-way street.
At the end of the day,
who gets to decide about the child?
The court.
No,
the
mom.
woman.
And then while all this is happening, on the flip side of it, what is the father getting? The father gets booted out. Everything now that we've seen in social media and in our world today is they trying to make the home, all the homes fatherless, or they're trying to change how people view fathers here in America.
All right. Well, normally we would have Ask Ye when we come back. But of course, Dwight Howard is here and we have a lot to discuss with him. So we'll be talking more with Dwight Howard when we come back. It's Way Up with Angela Yee.
Yeah, she back at it. Bring in the back. Way Up with Angela Yee is on.
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee, and Jasmine from the Jasmine brand is here. We are having quite the conversation with Dwight Howard. So there's a lawsuit right now, or is that dismissed and thrown away against you?
The lawsuit?
Yeah, from these allegations.
It wasn't real.
Okay, so that was fake. There was no lawsuit ever.
There was a lawsuit, but they threw the case out.
Okay, so it's thrown out.
It never happened.
So why is it coming back up now? And why are all the blogs picking it up now?
Why is it coming back out now? Have you seen the stuff I've been posting?
So you think it's a behind the scenes trying to get you to have more negativity again?
Of course. Why at this time? If something, you read the article, right?
Right.
2 years ago, right?
Yeah, 2021.
2021. Why would all of a sudden now some stuff like an article about my character and supposedly, allegedly, what I did with this person and a battery and assault? I just posted a video of me and my son working out.
Okay.
That got some bad press. So now it's like, we got to keep with this negative train. Yeah, and I just stay positive with all this stuff. There's nothing on my page that nobody could say has any negativity on it. So when I see those things, I know that it's an attack on my character and where I'm at in life.
What do you think is the biggest misconception about you?
The father.
People saying like I don't spend time with my kids, or I'm a deadbeat dad, or that I would ever do anything to hurt my kids. All the other noise that people say about whatever they think my personal life is, that's my personal life.
Right.
And I would never make public statements about anything private of mine when it comes to who's in my bed or anything like that. But
I did see an interview where you said the gay rumors aren't true because those were things that people kept bringing up.
Of course.
Yeah.
They're going to say stuff like that to keep this whole negative train going.
So you think that all stems from these situations and somebody is out there, there's people out there that are conspiring
I
to put things in the media?
I feel like there could be. But again, my focus is not on those people that's conspiring against me.
Okay.
My focus is on this podcast that I'm trying to get out.
Which would be great because then you'll be able to address things yourself.
Who's all on the podcast? But is it just you or
And the
your
kids?
guests? Or
I'm going to have a lot of guests.
Okay.
I do have a section called Talking and then it's going to be my cousin. His name is Bodank. He's kind of like a comedian. He's from the country. We're going to be going back and forth talking about world topics, whatever's going on. And just to clear the airways. We want to be able to talk about any and everything on the show.
What about politics? Are you a
I
person
do have views on politics.
I'm sure you
and
do.
a lot of people ain't going to like my views.
I want to hear it.
tell you.
I want to hear it. I'm Angela Yee, and the Jasmine brand is here. We're talking to Dwight Howard. Obviously, we're getting ready for another presidential election.
So y'all like Sleepy Joe?
I like him better than alternatives that we had.
Did you vote for Trump? No, you didn't.
I didn't vote for nobody.
Okay. Have you ever voted?
I have a personal belief on voting.
Okay.
I feel like Trump or Biden, they don't represent who I am. So I couldn't vote for them.
You've never voted before? Okay.
Are you considering doing it, or you feel like you wouldn't want to?
Or are you open to it?
Not the way that we have our stuff set up. Like, I don't believe in the Republican, the whole Democrat stuff.
Okay.
I feel like, all the stuff that we have tried to do, I feel like they're countering it. The government and all those people. So I feel like people might say conspiracy theories and all this stuff, but I feel like this program that we're in the states that they have for us, I feel like it's not allowing us to elevate as people. I think that they've kept us in this box mentally, physically, and spiritually.
Okay.
I just feel like what has happened with us in America for so long, I feel like the truth has been hidden from us in a lot of areas, even when dealing with politics and stuff like that. So I feel like it just got to be some change.
Well, good. I think on the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
We should, you got to get some people
I
up
didn't
there.
want to talk too much about it today.
No, I think
when is it supposed to launch?
The end of August. There's so many people I would love to talk to and get people's opinions on and stuff like that, because I have a lot of stuff in my head. People be like,
clearly,
yeah,
that man crazy.
I know.
He think the earth flat, all this stuff. Yeah, I don't mind expressing. I think that's the thing. We gotta. The biggest part of this show is we gotta be able to have these conversations, the tough conversations. I feel like we run from these conversations and everybody's so sensitive.
Let me tell you, after today's conversation, I am very much looking forward to your podcast. Whether I agree with things you say or disagree, I do find it very compelling.
Thank you so much. Dang. Wow.
Well, thank you so much again for coming through and being really open and honest about everything and letting us ask you whatever we wanted to ask that was in the news, because I felt like I was like, is he going to be okay? Because I also sometimes don't like to have to ask certain questions, but I know it's part of the responsibility.
It's no worries. I have no issue with talking. I don't get embarrassed about nothing. I don't allow nothing to change my mood. I'm always calm. I love to have fun, but I'm always be the same person regardless.
All right. Well, thank you so much. And you guys, there is a full and complete interview. We couldn't even put all this on the air today with Dwight Howard. All you have to do is go to our YouTube page at Way Up with Yee, and you can see the full interview. And of course, when we come back, you guys get the last word. 800-292-5150 is the number. Last word. When we come back, it's Way Up with Angela Yee.
Pick up the phone. Tap in. Tap in and get your voice heard. What the word is. Here's the last word on Way Up with Angela Yee.
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee and Jasmine from the Jasmine brand.
I'm here.
Hey, girl.
This was a great show today.
Yes, I had a good time. I'm going to tell you, that full Dwight Howard interview is on our YouTube channel, Way Up with Yee. Y'all got to watch the whole thing because there was a lot that we could not make happen.
Is there anything that he said that was surprising?
Listen, the one thing I can't get out of my head is that $7 million bad investment that he made that he does not know where that money is right now.
That's a lot.
I'm praying that he gets that back because I don't care. $7 million is a lot of money. Some people are not going to make that in their lifetime.
That's a lot of money.
Yes, and so I know that hurts.
Yeah.
And so, for sure that.
Yeah.
But
He's very outspoken.
And very chatty. Like, I feel like you could sit there and talk to him for hours.
He's nice. He's a cool dude.
Yeah, even like I told him, even though I don't agree with some of his ish, I respect it.
Yeah, he can stand 10 toes down on it too.
All right. Well, we should have asked him what he thought about Carlee Russell.
We should have.
See, that's why his podcast is going to be good, to hear him weigh in on certain things.
Exactly.
All right. Well, guys, thank y'all for joining us again. We had so much fun with you guys. In case you couldn't get through today, don't forget you can always call us up, 800-292-5150. You guys get the last word every single day. That means if you didn't get through when we have Tell Us a Secret, which is tomorrow, maybe you have an Ask Yee question. Maybe you want to shine a light on somebody. Maybe you want to weigh in on the topic about working with family, whether or not it's a good idea. You can always call us up and have the last word. Here it goes.
Hey, this is Diana calling from North Carolina, originally from Chicago, born and raised. I was calling about the topic of working with family members. Absolutely not. They are the laziest. I have hired both of my daughters, son-in-law, all family members, and I always ended up, even my niece, I ended up having to fire them. So, absolutely not. Unless they're adults, don't do it.
My name's Austin, and I want to shine a light on my wife, Rachel. She's the most amazing human life form that God has created. She goes every single day loving me to a fault and with no judgment, no shame, no nothing. She's stuck by my side every single day since we first met. There's no one else that I'd rather be around. No one else I'd rather have my kids around. She treats those babies like she gave birth to them and she didn't. She's the most beautiful, stunning, kind-hearted, loving person out there. I am so blessed.
This is Ebony calling from the salon Optic Fleek Beauty in Atlanta, and I am my sister's, most of my siblings stylists, and it's ghetto. I don't like it. They think every time that they see you, you should have a comb in your hand, or you should have some eyelashes or something to make them look different. And it's really just not fair because you have personal needs, you have time that you want to spend with your family and not have to work, and they look at you like you're a job. So for me, it's toxic. I don't recommend.
Hi, Angela. This is Eric from South Jersey. I want to shine a light on my two friends. Corinne and Elijah, they just got engaged over the weekend, so congratulations to them.
Going way up, turn up with Angela Yee.